Hi, good morning. So I'm David Nelson. I'm a Senior Director of Design at Microsoft.
Hey, I'm Sanjay Gupta, and I'm a Program Manager at Microsoft.
Cool. So we're here to talk about StaffHub in the Firstline workforce. So digital transformation has been a huge theme so far this week. Satya talked about it quite a bit in yesterday's keynote, and so clearly we've seen a lot of the start in the boardroom all the way through information workers has really been kind of the key to where Microsoft has been focusing. Recently, we've decided to push out and discover a way to be more inclusive of the entire workforce, right? So firstline workers and firstline workforce is particularly where our team's been focused. So those of you that don't know, the firstline workforce comprises about 80% of the global workforce. So this we saw as an immediate opportunity is that there's a huge number of people that we haven't been reaching and haven't been helping enable in their livelihood. So people in this workforce tend to be shift-based workers, so they're often sales associates, customer service, medical staff, factory workers. That's just a small segment of this area. So what's important about them is they're often the first to represent brands, right? So they're the first in contact with your customers. They're really the face of your business. So we've spent the last year or so building out a custom-built application for this audience called Microsoft StaffHub. It's a single application. It's a web and mobile component that's really focused around the needs of this audience. So right at the core of it is around schedule and task management. We have a lot of other supporting features that help build stronger communities with this audience, help with training, identity management, and then we also have extensibility to help connect you to the way that your programs work.
Cool, so we're going to jump right into the demo. I'm going to start with the web experience. The experience that I'm about to show you is our newest version that's going to start rolling out from next month. Okay, so I'm going to jump in as the scheduling manager of this team. As you can see here, I see a schedule view. I'm going to use this view to manage my team, create schedules, and share files and resources that my team may need. So first of all, I have a new employee. Her name's Sally Rogers. Let's add her. She's a new sales associate. So over here, I can easily add her. Previously, I'd have to go through IT and a bunch of hurdles, but now I can just add her right on StaffHub. She gets a text message to her phone, and she's up and running right away. She can see her shifts and files and everything she needs as a first-line worker. So I'm going to type in Sally Rogers, add new user. I'm going to put in her phone number. I'm going to press save. And right now she's getting the text message. This will invite her to both the app and it'll create her digital identity on the fly. So as you can see, I have Sally Rogers over here. So I want to give her some shifts for the week. So I can click over here. So after I give her shifts also, I can see that there are many tools over here to help me recreate these shifts. We make it very easy. We have the top shifts over here and other features such as copy paste. So first let me go ahead and give her a shift. So I'm going to give her a shift from 8 a.m. Let's give her a shorter day. She's a new employee to 4 p.m. I could give her unpaid breaks, but I'm a nice manager. I'm going to pay for her breaks. I'm going to make it a purple color just so it's consistent with the rest of my shifts that start at 8 a.m. I can give her a label, so if I call this like a full day shift, I can call it a full day shift over here, and I can write notes optionally. So I can say, please remember to bring your uniform. She's a new employee, so I want to make sure she knows everything she needs on the job. So with that, I can save it over here. And as you can see, the shift was created over here. So with that, after I've been creating schedules, I can see that every week, mostly my schedules stay pretty similar. There's not a bunch of change. So when I go to the following week, I can use this feature over here. That's copy last week. This again is another feature to help me recreate schedules and recreate shifts that I've already created in the past. So I can press copy last week over here. And then I can choose the options over here to let me choose what I want to copy. So maybe I created like a shift note that doesn't really copy over. If I'm telling someone like we have this VIP coming, that may not be something I want to copy over. So I can customize based on my needs. So I can press copy. I'll leave all the options as is. And with this, all of my shifts, all of my time offs, all of my activities that I've created in the past week will just come right over. Okay, as you can see, I have my shifts over here. I'm going to go back to the last week. So before I'm ready to share my schedule, I want to make sure that I'm not paying people overtime unless I absolutely have to. So as you can see over here, I can see the total number of hours each employee has. I can see it totaled up for the entire day as well. Additionally, if I go to the shift view, I can see my shifts. I can see how many people I have for each shift. So as I scroll down, I can make sure I have the proper coverage I need. If I go into this day view, I can make sure that my employees know when they're working, but on top of that, they know what they're doing during the shift. I want to make sure that all my employees are not off during lunch break at the exact same time, or they're not taking a break at the exact same time. So I can schedule them right over here. So I can see these are lunch breaks, these are regular breaks. And with this, I can make sure that my employees have all the information they need to do what they need to do on the job. So when I'm done with this, I can share the schedule with my team. I can also print it, and I can export it if I want to modify some data in an Excel file. So once I'm ready, I can share the schedule, and then I can also additionally share files if I want. Just I need to make sure that my employees have everything they need to do on the job. So with that, we're going to switch over to the employee experience on the mobile device.
Cool. Thanks, Chet. So as a first-line worker, being on the go is a huge piece of that job, right? So I don't have a desk. I'm typically moving around throughout my day. So having all the things that I need to know where I need to be, what I need to be doing across the day in my pocket is extremely valuable. So as you can see from the employee side of StaffHub, we have a super simple interface. It's really focused around surfacing these things as quickly as possible. So on the home page, we have my shifts. So you can see I'm currently in shift today. I'm working until about 5:15 this afternoon. I also have all my upcoming shifts for this week and next week that have been published by my manager, Sanchez. So each one of these shifts you can go into. You can see the shift details. So today I have my lunch scheduled immediately after this presentation. So I've got 12 to 12:30 to take a break. Then I also have a break later in the afternoon from 3:30 to 4. Another fantastic thing that we add is that it's often really important for me to know who I'm working with, right? So it sets up kind of my context of who I should be looking for on the floor, what my day is going to consist of, and just kind of how the general team camaraderie works. So we organize all of my coworkers by role. So I have a set of all the cashiers that are in our team. I also have everyone in customer service, managers, and sales associates. So I know that Lynn, who's sitting in the front, is here managing things for the day. So another common thing is that time is huge, right? So knowing how to be in the right place at the right time, doing the right work is also super important for us. So activities are a high part of my day. So often I get assignments of things that I need to complete personally, or things I need to hand off. So I noticed actually if I go to my to-do here at the bottom, there was a request from Lynn, my manager, who had asked me to sign for a package from a vendor. I did this last night. I just unfortunately forgot to do that. So sorry, did this yesterday. So I can add a note back to her. I can complete it. And it saves it back into the system, sends her a notification, and then saves it for the team so everyone knows it's been completed. So I also have the ability to add tasks for myself, for other people in the team. So Sanchez and I have been talking quite a bit, so check on my raise. Smiley face. And then I can go through and find Sanchez is one of my managers. I'm going to schedule that for Friday, so I have a good celebration for the weekend. So I can schedule that, and now that's been assigned to him to look at. So what else we find is, being a shift worker, my schedule kind of moves in and out, right? So, there's times where I might have a shift that's been assigned to me, or I might want to have, time off. So before StaffHub, I often used to have to write these things down on a piece of paper, put them in a filing cabinet, and hopefully that somebody will look at them. And then I always have that angst that, I wasn't sure where it was in this process. So simply from the request tab at the bottom, I have the ability to either swap a shift or give a shift to somebody else, where I can ask for time off. So I'm going to ask for vacation. I'm in Orlando this weekend, so let's do Thursday through Monday. I'm going to take an extra day in Florida, and I'll send the request. So interestingly, I'm also a manager on the team, so I have the ability to approve my own request off. So I've been working really hard, so I think I'll just approve it myself. But it's fantastic is that as you put these requests in, you're able to put these requests out, you can see who has seen them, and there's a nice checks and balance system, so you can actually see which managers have approved that process. So messaging is another core component, right? So often, I find people that are within my workspace so that I can talk to them, on a face-to-face basis. But there's times where I need to reach people that are either off shift or in other parts of our building, right? So every team member is added to a store chat. And so we have the ability where it's a central chat group where you're able to kind of chat and move things back and forth. You can add photos, add text. You can also do one-on-one messages with individuals as well. And then we also have an inbox. So email is typically not a part of my day-to-day usage. I partially use email for kind of home things, but like just the corporate IT or IW workflow of getting tons of email does not work for me, and it's an extra place for me to check. So often before StaffHub, I would get emails through my system. I would just ignore them because they didn't show up in a place that I looked at on a regular basis. So within our inbox, we have two places. So we have team files. So these are things that can be shared by my manager for me to reference later. It's just kind of a simple location for online stored files. So Lynn earlier had uploaded an inventory checklist. This is an easy access for me to go through on my daily basis to be able to check things off. We also have announcements, which is an amazing way that allows me to stay connected with things that are happening in our corporate offices, right? So straight from Outlook, anybody in corporate, anybody in our organization can send an email to a distribution list that would include me and my entire store in a very simple regular workflow you would do. But on my side, it presents in a much more streamlined email that's outside of an email system. So it's a one-way read system. So that's a general overview of how StaffHub works for me.
Thank you. Cool, so because that was a 20-minute session, we wanted to give you a general overview, but if you have more in-depth questions or things that you want to tell us about your scenarios, we'd love to hear from you. We do have a booth at the expo floor, so please find us there. We are also available. You can check us out online at staffhub.office.com. And we do love feedback. So we use UserVoice as our feedback tool, so you can go to staffhub.uservoice.com. And lastly, if you want to email one of us directly, you can email staffhubinfo@microsoft.com, and someone from the team will get back to you. But with that, we're open to questions right now. Yeah.
Sure. I have a question. So what's the correlation between StaffHub and Microsoft Planner?
StaffHub and Planner.
So Planner's part of Teams, which is obviously a collaboration piece. How does that work here? So I wasn't here part of the beginning, so if you've covered this already, I apologize.
Planner is more like a simple project management.
So you do this and that's it?
I do this if I work in a store and it's a schedule and have collaboration tool for the staff.
Yeah, Planner would be typically focused more for like a PMP, so a project manager professional. So
to a tech PM to a tech.
Right. So often that's for building out your schedules.
This is like in a store or kind of organization.
But this is more hierarchical based. So it's looking at Active Directory and pulling in the hierarchy from manager to project manager to whatever the hierarchy is, and be able to scale across. Is that correct?
Yes, this is, ours is typically around getting people in location, and so be curious to what scenarios you'd be looking for, but
we don't need to do item level, so I don't need to know where somebody is at 9 o'clock, but I'd like to know where they are for the next week. on a day-by-day basis, but not an hour-by-hour basis.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Planner might be
Planner's probably better.
a better solution for that. But I could see deeper integration if you wanted to get those people in place.
Okay.
Yes. It's available on F1, E1, E3, E5 SKUs.
So it's in the O365 F1 SKUs, its primary SKU. It's available in every SKU above that. It's also in the new Microsoft 365 SKU, which was announced yesterday, which will be available on the 1st as well. It goes in E1 as well. It's in, Jen, I believe it's in every SKU that we have. So
Yeah.
it's in the E SKU and E1, E3, E5. Yeah. Where are we in the expo? We are in the, is it the
It's
digital
like the back left
transformation corner?
corner. You'll see all the Microsoft. We're in that area.
So there's modern workplace. So there's a very large Microsoft section. We're on the far right side.
Yes.
I heard about the integration to Kronos.
Yes.
Know anything about that?
Yes, so
Yes.
we do integrate with Kronos. So with that, you can have your scheduling rules and all these complex things on Kronos, and we'll be the UI for that. So you can create a shift from StaffHub, and then if you're violating a rule, we'll have the notification come up from Kronos.
Yeah, we're also pulling in available time, et cetera. So, and
So-
so
Ready or is it in progress?
it is in progress, yeah. And so Amy, Amy's in the corner. If you have specific questions, he can help you with that too.
So we also have another session here Thursday at noon, focused on business integrations in our APIs. Other questions? Yes.
The mobile client is Android and iOS.
I
We
don't
go
know
back
off the top
quite
of my
far.
head.
I don't know
but
exactly what release, but it is quite a few back.
It does cover a majority of our, like, the target market for first-line workers. Any other questions? We'll stick around here for a few minutes if you guys want to come up and ask questions personally. Thank you, everyone.
All right, cheers. Thanks.